Hello everyone, this is... I'm going to be reviewing Iron Maiden, as you can see right in front of your face. And that's not the album I'm going to be reviewing though. Can you go? No. I'm going to be reviewing No Prayer for the Dying by Iron Maiden. Get out of here! Get out of here, man! Anyway, Ian here once again. I'm going to be reviewing No Prayer for the Dying by Iron Maiden. Right off the bat, I'm going to say that I'm not going to talk about the production of this album that much because this is the same producer that Iron Maiden has been having since, I think, Peace of Mind or Power Slave. I can't remember. It might have been Number of the Beast. No, it's Killers. I just remembered. Since Killers. The same producer since Killers till Fear the Dark. So, until Fear the Dark, I'm not going to be talking about the production that much. It's good production through all those albums. So, yeah. That's all I'm going to say about the production. Let's continue. Now, this album is a bit different from the last album, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. They didn't have longer songs on this album. So the songs are pretty decent time, like 4 minutes. I think one's 5 minutes or something. Which, I mean, Iron Maiden is good at the long songs, but this was still good. I felt this album didn't need one of those long songs like Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner or something like that, or the title track Seventh Son of a Seventh Son on the album Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. But it's still a good album. I liked most of the songs. My favorite songs probably Mother Russia and Holy Smoke, two great songs there. And they actually made a music video for the song Holy Smoke, which I think is hilarious. Oh my goodness, it's an amazing video. You need to go, if you have not seen the music video for Holy Smoke, stop watching this video now and go watch that, because that's hilarious. You definitely get a laugh out of it. It's like this homemade movie kind of thing, and it's so funny. But yeah, that's probably my favorite song off this album, but really, most of the songs on this album is pretty good. One song I didn't really like was the first song, Tail Gunner. It's pretty decent, but I didn't enjoy that song as much as I did the other ones. But now going on to the musicianship. I don't know why I did that. But yeah. Guitars, great. Bass, great. It's really your typical Iron Maiden guitar. And this is something, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before, but this is something I really like about Iron Maiden. How some of their riffs, they use the 3 top strings on a guitar. Like, they don't use, like, I mean, obviously they use like pretty much every string on the guitar and stuff like that. They still use the top string, blah blah blah. But they use like the strings that you would normally use for a solo for the majority of their riffs, and I think that's a really cool idea. You could definitely tell that they do this on this album, especially with some of the songs. I think it was one of the songs started off with this riff that was like that. I think it was called Public Enema Number 1 or something. I'm pretty sure that's the song. I could be wrong. But when you listen to this album, you know what I'm talking about. It's just, I like how they do that. And the bass, of course, Steve Harris is one of the greatest bassists of all time, so enough said. Drum, Nico McBrain is like, he didn't do as good as he did as on like some of the other albums, like Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. I felt like he could do better on this album, but he still did a really good job. It's Nico McBrain. I mean, obviously he's a really good drummer, but I felt like he didn't go 100% with this album. I don't know why. I just felt like he could do better. It might have been just because of how the songs were written, because some of the songs were written a bit different from previous albums on this one. I think so, but I don't know. I think he could have been better, done better, but overall, the drums, 2 thumbs up. The vocals, Bruce Dickinson, enough said. I mean, he's an amazing vocalist. What can you say about Bruce Dickinson? He's great. He's great. I probably shouldn't do that anymore. Try to talk about a certain person or what they did on the album, and basically thinking of not repeating myself like I did on other ones, but end up doing the same thing because I draw a blank like that. Like that. That's like. So, the artwork of this album is well done again. I really like the artwork of this one. You got Eddie bursting out of a coffin. It's really cool. And I don't think it's on the actual album cover, but there's another picture, I think in the booklet or something, that has the same artwork with him like grabbing a guy. Some random guy, who cares? Just a guy. As soon as he bursts out of the coffin. But the artwork's really cool. Probably, arguably, one of my favorite artworks by Iron Maiden. If I end up making a top 10 artwork by Iron Maiden album covers, this will probably be like number 3 or 2. Or 4, who knows. But this is definitely one of my favorites. Not my favorite, but definitely one of them. It's really good artwork. Enough said. So, the production's good, the vocals are good, the guitar work's good, the bass is good, the drums is good, but it could be better, but it's still good, and the artwork is really good. So, overall, this is a good album by Iron Maiden. I really enjoyed this album, and I definitely recommend this album to everyone. I've said this before, I think I've said this on my Peace of Mind album, but if you are a musician and don't like heavy metal or anything like that, you would probably like Iron Maiden. If you are a musician, you would find something with Iron Maiden to appreciate, because they are very music driven. I mean, they're very lyrical driven too. They have some good lyrics and stuff. Most of their lyrics, probably the best of their lyrics, are like historical lyrics and stuff. And this is definitely one of those albums that you should definitely listen to if you are a musician. I enjoyed it very much, and I play guitar. I play drums, sort of. I'm not that good of a drummer, but I play guitar. But if you're a musician, definitely listen to this album. And if you can't get into heavy metal, this is Iron Maiden. Not just this album, but Iron Maiden in general is one of those bands to start listening to. That's a heavy metal band that most people can appreciate their music and their lyrics. And No Prayer for the Dying is probably a good example of one of the stronger Iron Maiden albums. Now, it's not the best Iron Maiden album, but it's definitely a strong one. I really like it, but I'm afraid I'm not going to rate it higher than something like Seventh Son or any of the previous albums, so I'm going to be giving Iron Maiden No Prayer for the Dying a 7 out of 10. See you later.